Charts presented by each town, Basalt, Carbondale, and Aspen, there was a glaring difference. Aspen and Carbondale put their citizens on the top of their organizational chart. Basalt put the mayor and town council at the top of their organizational chart with no reference to its citizens. I found we are the most heavily taxed. Carbondale's mill levy is 3.594, Aspen's is 4.601, and Basalt is at 11.591, with half of that going to bonds and debt service. The amount of debt being carried by each town shows Carbondale has about 3% debt ratio, Aspen 5%, and Basalt 29%, and that was debt to the budget expense.
I would like to just ask when we are going to stop the pretending about the budget and present this in a fair way. Okay, everything is presented to make this look like it's not the right thing to do. And it's ridiculous. You bother to look at it, it's got everything there how you could do it without affecting any of the budget items.
I just look at this all this as just wearing away at what we have to do to take care of what we have. You know, you go around town and the parking signs are like this, and that's how people get into town. Those are our entrances to town. And so here we have zero extra money.
There needs to be a strategy as to how you're going to get the developer to participate. There was a comment made to me that if you take the route of buying this property, that will incentivize you to find a developer and approve a land use application quickly. I don't think the community believes that this council will pursue a developer quickly or even in a timely fashion. The policy actually states that you have to recover your reserves in a 2-year period. You have one option up there that says 3. So if you're going to deviate from policy, maybe you should revisit that policy.
You are restricted from taking any monies from open space and trails, both in Pekin and Eagle. The reason being that you can take the money and you can make your park, but the only thing that you can have afterward is the Memorial Whitsitt Gower bathrooms on the site. And I'm sure that they would be beautiful and clean and everybody would use them. But if you take any money from open space and trails, you could go into CC&Rs and all the things that they've worked with. I've read all of them. You have destined that piece of land to be a park. So in the future, I don't think that that's something that's coming out from the council as a manipulation, and I know it wouldn't be. But transparently, as a citizen of the community, you need to get a report from Ryan Mahoney and your legal counsel saying that if you use that money, then you can develop. Bernie, I just wanted to focus on that terrific video of yours. I enjoyed watching it. I just wanted to let you know that I didn't think that people were voting against taxes. They were voting against your honor and integrity in moving forward.
I too saw Bernie's video and I thought it was great. I'm perhaps more privy than most the struggles that he's been through to try to get us out of the rut. I still struggle with what happened with the amended offer from Lowe Enterprises. Their last scenario was that they were going to give the town $1.2 million, would cost the town nothing. They would build a facility that would be public serving in the sense that part of it would be a restaurant, part of it would be a bar on the park, on the river. Part of it would bring visitors to our town, and it would do so for 12 months out of the year. If not that, what is your vision individually? What is your vision for that property? When we talked about putting the art base, which could be the keystone of our community, I would really like to hear from each individual council person what your vision for Basalt is. What is your vision?
I've been doing some comparative analysis, working with Crown Mountain and some of the other parks in the area. And they have indicated to us in some public input sessions that Town of Basalt pays about $15,000 per acre in maintenance of its parks. Just to put it in perspective, the national average is $63.81 per acre, and poor little Crown Mountain only has $849 per acre dedicated to the maintenance. So if in fact you did purchase this property, where would that additional funding for the maintenance of this property come from? And is it contemplated in a projected budget?
We will throw that into the mix of the conversation.
Okay, thank you.
The two versions of the budget that buy the park strike me as wrong for several reasons, and I want to lay that out and hopefully get responses to that. I think it's fiscally wrong, and I think looking at that underfunded social capital request list explains why it's wrong. We're not running the town in a way that I'm proud of in terms of funding things we really need and the community says we really need. What this does is it picks one project at the expense of many. We won't even have the money to program this park for several years. So I think it's fiscally wrong. I think from a planning perspective, we're taking the wrong approach here, which is that we're looking at this thing in isolation when it's got to be part of a urban planning worldview that takes into consideration what's happening around it. There isn't anyone in the park now. Why is that going to change? The community is made up of people and not space, and so I really am concerned, what if we do preserve it and there's nobody there? My last point is, I think this doesn't make sense from a common sense and logic perspective. We already have a large park right there on that parcel, and we know under any scenario it's going to get larger because we've all agreed that we want to take a chunk of that and turn it into park. The idea of controlling the property by owning it, I don't understand, and I need an explanation, because if we zone that thing, we control it. And we're fully capable now of zoning it in a way that it could be sold. But why do we think, if we haven't done that already, that we're going to zone it in a way that a developer will purchase it after owning it? What's going to change? Why wouldn't we do that today and try to sell it? So I worry that we do it, fail to zone it properly, and then be stuck with that financial burden permanently.
Math makes decision-making very easy. There are a number of budget shortfalls that are, in my opinion, priorities. Specifically, the police department and those needs. The roads in particular, make maintaining roads very critical. A number of other social requirements that should be met. And at the same time, I think this property can be turned into a significant asset that generates revenue for the town, at the same time blended with some kind of a decent park arrangement. But substantially commercial for the purpose of making Basalt a destination, which it is not as I see it today, and recognize very clearly the need to develop a commercially sustainable city to make it a city that people want to attend.
An opportunity was proposed that in order for a developer to go forward and give the council more assurance that it represents something they may have, it would cost tens of thousands of dollars. And this council has not given them that kind of assurance for them to go forward and give them a broader plan to show them what could be done on that site in a responsible, creative manner. And only now are we starting to see the conversation being taken up by certain council members who may not have ever considered that at all.
It's just so frustrating because even the town officials are making it look that way. Why can't we have an open process instead of one that is pushing it to one developer group? I don't know.